It's so good.
The approach here for BREN Esports, right? I had to make that introduction because that's the way for us to understand
All
completely
troops deployed.
what BREN Esports wants to make out of this Gushen. It has execute peak performance. Goodness. This guy is gonna deal the damage, doesn't have to be the carry for BREN Esports, but he's gonna be on a supporting role, Reptar. Nevertheless, we've talked about a bunch about BREN Esports. BREN BSB, however, I think their draft is solid. I mean, it's I won't blame you if you side on BSB on this one when it comes to draft. It's so holistic view. Okay, so that's an invade, quote unquote. Yeah. How about you, Reptar? So far. Oh, by the way, what an invade!
Show me the money.
Yeah, great invade by both teams right now, just applying the pressure. And yeah, draft-wise, if you remove the name of the teams there, everyone's just gonna go, that's a BSB game, definitely, for sure.
Yeah.
But you have to really look into the players and how they play their roles and these heroes, which is why, despite all of this craziness coming in from the BREN lineup, you want to give them hope. And look at that, they get to cash out people with a arrow. BREN Esports going to try to capitalize and get some kills here, but Lasty looks like is going to be the go. He gets taken out by the Joe here. And I do want to point out that Selena is one of the highest banned heroes in Season 5.
Yeah.
But in terms of the win rate, it's close to 50%. Because Selena games are highly dependent on the arrow lands. If the Abyssal arrow can land, Selena's gonna have a good game. If not, no. And it really tells a lot about how the Selena now, or maybe the state of players now, the fact that it's a 50% performance, that means that it's really dependent on who's using it. The question is, can you have a really good Selena game to sort of, how do I say this, to tell everyone, hey, my Selena first pick was a great idea. Meanwhile, while I was that, BREN Esports were able to get kills around the map, able to trade immediately 2 kills in favor of 1 of BSB.
Wow, that's what we missed about Gushen, right? That the burst potential, that even the Grok, level 3 Grok will really be taken out by a level 4 Gushen. Just the raw amount of damage. Not even gonna have to use the execute, right? Not even needing it. One thing that we do have to note about the Gushen is that it deals a lot of damage, a lot of pressure, a lot of kill potential in there. Maybe the only difference is that it is very squishy. So that's the only thing that you have it. And it's very buff dependent as much as it is noble dependent. So if you missed your timings with your buffs and your kills, you will really struggle with the Gushen. But this is BREN Esports. They know exactly how to utilize this. And look at how they are taking over the map just by sheer amount of wave clear. The fact that they are able to clear out the waves in almost all parts of the map allows them to be able to fight almost at all points. Nevertheless, Reptar, I think BSB wants to contest this. But there's BREN Esports from the backlines, jumping from the Gushen, and they do jump in all together. Actually, the burst down. Grok is gonna go down. 2 down from the side of BSB. There's the control onto the Hellcurt, but Trevor cannot fight. BREN Esports, what a nice juggle of attacks, of aggression. You can see how they dispersed. Man, they're playing like this is an RTS game. They're playing like this is like the concave versus the convex, wherein the outer ring almost wins against the inner ring.
Well said. And yeah, BREN Esports, just it seems like all around in that team fight, the ones who had pick-off potential got the pick-offs that they needed, and they were able to just deal burst damage. I mean, look at just all around. It seems like they played man-to-man offense, I guess is what you could say. And then let's say we're able to get that AoE burst potential coming in from Coco's Last Insanity in the time wave. Last Insanity, I just said it, able to take a good chunk of Wilson's health, but BSB is there to apply the pressure onto Coco, and if they get this, they do get a kill. 3-6 now, BSB, but BREN Esports still have the lead because of what they were able to do in that team fight of the Turtle. They were able to spot out Joe, and look at the burst damage. That is just a football straight to your face. You're a 6th grader, you got picked last by all the players in the team, and then you also got hit in the face by the ball. That's what that felt, Cutie. Kapwan also gets taken out by perfect rotation right now by BREN Esports, and that's what we also have to point out here. They're making this work because of how they're spacing and controlling the lanes in the map.
Oh, there's the execute. Not gonna get a kill reload there to kind of help Few not be shameful what he did. Because I'm sure that if you use execute enough, you'll know what they're gonna kill. There's the Dark Knight boss though. Last Insanity gonna be popped. There is a good one charge, but not enough for BSB to salvage this fight. They lose 2. They lose the third one. It's the Grok was a few nice counteract from Shiner Cutie. But they will eventually lose 4 in total. BSB, they can't just match the damage output of BREN Esports in the early game. But this time, man, everybody's online on the side of BREN Esports.
And wow, this lineup is just working to perfection. Everyone has single target burst potential and pickoff. And then they also have the last insanity for the end of, well, technically, once Gushin goes in for the recall blades, it's sort of AoE as well. But this is just working out perfectly for BREN Esports. Look at the damage Kapwan just took from last year's Jawhead. That was a one-on-one, and the level and resource right now is so glaringly obvious that I won't be surprised if the BS won't even go for the contest here, and they don't. They were just like, you know what, fine, let's just give it to BREN. We're not gonna get anywhere close to them. And wow, I don't know what to call this lineup BREN brought out here. It's like, it's chaotic, but it's controlled chaos, chaotic neutral. I don't know. It's everywhere, but it's also just so rare. Dude, this is crazy what we're seeing from BREN.
Very crazy. Like I said, the Imaginarium of Ducky. We can see now that this lineups can be pulled off. Oh my goodness! Now the stun connects onto the Thams, and obviously you're gonna die. Not even gonna need the execute against Wilson, who popped his vengeance in hoping that he will, and ultimate in hopes that he will survive. Fortunately, it wasn't. Yeah, BREN Esports. You know what? A month ago, if you showed me this lineup and just cover the team names, I would have guessed there's no chance for the red team to win this. But this is BREN Esports now. Top 1 gonna be caught by BSB, but fortunately, BREN Esports showed mercy in that match. Will just push the top lane.
To get another turret, and I'm really just trying to look at how BREN is handling this game. And one of the things that stand out for me is their movement all around the map. It just seems to be picture perfect because they're for invades, they're there to steal buffs, they're there to take away resources, and at the same time, if you get off by any of their heroes, you can, even if it's a one, can get easily bursted down. So that's how this lineup is working out. They can just go all around, roam, and if you get caught out by one, you're gonna get taken out really quickly. Maybe the BREN here, BSB now. The question is, putting that into context, can you go and force a team fight and maybe win it out in a team fight setting? The question is right now, no. Jiraxnu is still really behind. Well, actually not really behind. He's keeping it really close. But I don't think a full-on team fight and one blazing duet is gonna cut it at this moment because of just how the rest of BSB are in terms of items and resources. You do have to commend Jiraxnu and BSB that they are keeping this Claude really, really close. But look at that Hellcurt, 7.5. He's about to build an endless battle, if I'm not mistaken. He does have the Blade of Despair. That's a really bursty Hellcurt. So it looks like this is BSB's fight to lose and force it. They just need a really good pickoff going into this one. Let's see if they find it.
So we're gonna go for a turnaround into the bottom part of the map, but look at how much fear BREN Esports have given to BSB. They don't even fight, even when they have 4 members in there. They did not even touch the BREN Esports squad, who was pushing onto the bottom side of the map and onto the middle. They took out a turret. BREN Esports are all over the map, And I'm sure that the Dark Knight Falls is an activatable skill for Kaltizi, but it feels like the night is so dark for BSB at this point. They are so afraid of BREN Esports, they don't even want to budge and get out of their base. This is mental warfare that BREN Esports is winning.
Yeah, the night is dark and full of damage if BSB decides to walk into the dark. And man, it's, oh my goodness, that arrow just hits, but will BREN try to go for the capitalize? Few just shows up throwing out the blades but doesn't decide to go for it. And this is also BREN at the same time respecting the possible team fight turnaround BSB can have if they decide to go for it. They do get a pick off on Coco. That's a 2-on-1, but Coco is barely taking any damage. Faraga armor not even taken down by that Cho. That's really bad sign if you're Shatter QT BSB. The fact that he can't win a
Lord
2-on-1.
resurrecting soon.
But this is how afraid they are. I'm telling you, if it was another team that's not afraid of BREN Esports, they would have taken that. And maybe they are wrong because they might be baited by BREN Esports, but you can see how mentally damaged BSB is because of what BREN Esports did in the early game. They don't even want to touch Coco even when it's a 2v1 straight up. That is bad. BREN Esports winning this mental game, after watching a documentary about Michael Jordan a lot, you know that this is part of professional play, of competitive play. Play with the minds of your opponents. And this is what BSB is suffering from, apart from anything.
And that's really the strength that Hellkurt brings into any composition, really, where I think I remember hearing someone say Hellkurt always has to get a kiss. Dark Knight Falls gets popped up. No, we've seen it work against, I believe it was Geek Fam or Blacklist that went up against Onyx.
It was
They picked
Blacklist.
up the Hellkurt, and the Hellkurt, Blacklist, and Hellkurt was played perfectly there because they used Hellkurt for mental warfare. Not all the time they were able to secure a kill, but they were able to secure something. Now, BREN Esports looks like they are going to be securing that top lane turret. They might even get more with the Lord barely taking any damage. BREN Esports taking a lot of damage now, though, from BSB. BSB not giving up this fight. They are going to try to go for this, but BSB able to defend this out. Will they bite, and will they continue going to chase BREN Esports out? BREN still somehow playing this carefully. Coco trying to just wipe up lane, applying the pressure there. BREN not able to take out the mid lane turret. Coco with the last insanity here out. It takes a lot of damage, but Coco looks like easy crunched out here, and he might get taken out. That immortality pops, but that is not enough to save him. It took a while, though. Not way that it should have. Coco finally gets taken out, and dude, how does it feel if you're BSB, if it took you to take out a Coco that was just overdove into your base?
Yeah, this is a bigger problem of BSB, by the way. They don't have like an execute mechanic that Few has, right? And they don't have the damage. This is the problem when you're facing a team with like 10,000 gold ahead of you. You can't kill them. Even when when you could say that BREN Esports was a premature dive, but you can just kill them because they are so tanky. And I like the fact that BREN Esports pulled in their heroes with immortality first. That's also one big factor because the way they dove, it's not actually like an aggressive dive. It's a calculated dive, a calculated risk that BREN Esports took because they know that two of their members have immortality. Just put these members in front of BSB. That's Xborg and Joy, right? And they took so much damage. They accepted a lot of damage, soaked up on it, and already BSB is having troubles in terms of the damage output. There's the Truncheon, the Winter Truncheon on Few. Good luck killing this man.
You know how scared I am for BSB now every time I see a play or something come up for BREN Esports? Like right now, I am physically reacting to watching this as BSB are going to try to chase out members of BREN Esports, but the Dark Knight does fall and it has fallen for Shider Duty. He gets taken out, but BSB with a response, they get to take out Jirax. That Blazing Duet dealt a lot of damage, but looks like BSB wasn't able to clean it up. That's 3 members down for the side of BSB. He might get another one. They do. That's a mega kill. Capon, the captain, looks like his ship is about to sink, but the captain does sink with his ship. That is gonna be not completely clean for BREN Esports, but hey, are you gonna complain while you're gonna spam in front of your opponent's face? And the cord just gets taken down, adding insult to injury. It's like if the iceberg and the iceberg just decide.
I think we're running out of words here to describe the greatness of BREN Esports, at least in this series. Surely BREN Esports took a little bit of a tumble in the previous week, but now they're strong as ever. I mean, even with this
It's okay.